quiet luxury wasn't anything new, but we had seen the ramping up of it happening, the rise of it happening. And I think we are seeing the fall of it now. And I'm really kind of glad to say, because at the end of the day, quiet luxury was a subtle code. It was an invitational only kind of playground. Thank God quiet luxury is dead. My thing is, why did we let this trend or like this name or this idea for something that's a minimalist closet, by the way? This is a minimalist capsule closet pieces. That's the look. Today we're going to get into a new wave of fashion that I've been noticing. Some of the hangovers that we're still seeing with quiet luxury, it's still there. It's still around. It is very much hanging around. Aspirational lifestyles that I've definitely been changing recently, and what true wealth actually looks like. Spoiler alert, it doesn't look like an underwhelming $2,000 plain sweater that the workers are underpaid for. Hi, I'm Maria, the Maria Fede on all socials. And if you're new here, I help you look good, feel confident, and achieve your goals. And if you're ready, let's get into it. The price increases that we've seen across the board for like the past maybe 3-4 years post-pandemic has been astronomical. A lot of fashion houses now are increasing their rate. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean they're actually making any profit, which I kind of love to see, because the way that it's setting up is that we see a lot of price increases for these items and the quality's actually gone down. The workers aren't getting paid, like with the Dior scandal. And so what was the point? Why is it luxury? Tell me what the luxury part of it is. You know what I mean? And with a big percentage of actual luxury buyers being middle class, they're literally telling you, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, bro. The rise of quiet luxury started a long time ago. I think a lot of people say, oh, it's Succession, it's White Lotus. Well, it's also Bridgerton, it's also Gossip Girl, it's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, also Palm Royale. It's a lot of things that we see. Wealth is something we all aspire to have. They've tapped into a base need that a lot of people have, and it's a successful formula for a show, for movies, for a lot of things. Let's be real. Items that you wouldn't expect cost an arm and a leg, pretty much your rent, right? But it became a form of silent status because, you know, the move away, and we constantly have this trend, right? Because every trend is in 20 to 30 years. So quiet luxury wasn't anything new, but we had seen the ramping up of it happening, the rise of it happening. And I think we are seeing the fall of it now. And I'm really kind of glad to say, because at the end of the day, quiet luxury was a subtle code. It was an invitational only kind of playground, because it got even more specific. We went from quiet luxury to first subsect in quiet luxury, such as the clean girl aesthetic. And then we have the Scandi girl aesthetic. All of these things all of these were invitational only language. Those of you who know the actual wealthy class will know. A $5,000 Loro Piana sweater and, you know, a $2,000 bag. The people who know it will know it. And that, if you know bag really went around. Now, I will be honest with you. I am a big member of the if you know it bag member, items, clothing, everything, because I don't like to have items of clothing on me that are just like all branded, right? But it does not have to be these really ridiculous mockery of the expensive pieces, because at the end of the day, right, people buy items in the price range that's affordable to them. And most people, middle class shoppers, are buying things that are dupes of the luxury items. Why not just invest that money into quality pieces of things that are gaps missing in your closet, rather than pretty much costume play Scandi Girl for another 3 weeks and then realize maybe Scandi Girl doesn't really fit my style. But you wanted to jump in on the trend. Even saw like magazines and stuff like that in the early 2010s. Oh, magazines or 2000s. Paparazzi was terrible. But again, it was all an idea. Again, we've gone through our logomania phase. We've gone through minimalism phase. We've gone through the business office professional phase, where now, again, we've gone through all these phases. But this whole concept of stealth wealth, quiet luxury really became a spiral, right? Because, you know, it was always looking out for those wealth markers, the Hermes, you know, throw pillows or the Twillies on the bag, right? Meanwhile, again, it's just repackaged, rebranded things being sold. And I actually truly told you this many a times at this point. I really do love the quiet luxury phase. I really do like it, because I think every closet should start with the closet basics, which is the quiet luxury era that we just went through. A lot of minimalist closet basics. So I do really like it. See, it also helped me push more towards natural fibers and linens, even more so. Also because I think I'm getting like older and I just want to have better quality clothes that last longer. But I think that push was really helpful. I just don't think it's a realistic place to stay in because of all the other stigmas tied to this clean girl aesthetic and this quiet luxury aesthetic, because it featured a certain group of people at the end of the day more than others. And if it's now becoming exclusionary rather than inclusionary, because this is a space for art and creativity, then now we have a problem, right? So to see that on the decline now, I'm loving it. Let's get real. Okay, the quiet luxury trend obviously painted a really, really big aspirational lifestyle. And we saw a lot of the TikToks that people would be like they were in tons of debt, especially through the buy now, pay later program, which a lot of Gen Z have been using a lot in order to try to achieve this lifestyle, because all the sites now are pretty much buy now, pay later, like Klarna acceptable. So it's another spending debt spiral. It preys on obviously, base instinct of wanting to live an aspirational life. And that's part of what the quiet luxury phase really did, because it was really preaching these like really expensive pieces. I mean, we would see brands that would have quality of clothing that were just 100% polyester, but because they were a certain name brand, people would just say they were buying from it. $300, $500 pieces of clothing, and it's not that good of quality. Don't get me wrong, buy what you want, and it's totally, this is my disclaimer to you, but $500 for that, why? Again, price gouging, because they knew we were all locked into that era, right? And honestly, I think it's impractical for most of us. And can I be real? Like, true wealth doesn't scream or true wealth doesn't yell. Who made that rule up, and whose guideline of true wealth are we following? I mean, I'm not saying true wealth does scream or yell or anything, but at the end of the day, it's not like silent. Okay, I mean, if someone is still wearing a Loro Piana $5,000 cashmere sweater, it's a $5,000 cashmere sweater. It's not that quiet. We love to say, oh, it's quiet luxury, but like once you put it on, quality versus quality. So this whole idea was just the fronting of it. Like you were fronting like you had quality. You would buy it from these other brands that would have like acrylic 50% of it. Again, I'm not blaming you. The brands do this because they know they can get us because we're locked into that phase, into that era. That's why I'm saying that the push away from it, great, because now we get to see all kinds of really cool pieces and colors and patterns and splashes. Once again. And let's be honest, a lot of the times when people would end up, like I mentioned, would get dupes of these clothing anyway. Because at the end of the day, true wealth isn't about the $5,000 shirt you have. I think it's honestly just knowing how to look presentable. Is wealth only defined by the things you put on you? I mean, that's the real question, right? Because we all know the true wealth are the things that are, priceless. We're all sold it over and over again. That's when you go shopping, online, videos. It's all about how you can dress it, how you can dress the quiet luxury trend, the quiet style, West Coast. Take a breath, relax. It's really not that serious. It's about having pieces for you that are curated for your life. And so, yeah, a lot of people are getting into debt because of that. Listen, no judgment, but the fact that we're moving towards a lifestyle now, we're in the anti-trend, anti-influencer phase. We've seen a lot of the anti-influencing trend come around. That really pushed it a little bit further. We've seen the anti-trend come around, and people are starting to realize, like, yeah, I don't want to be locked into black, white, beige, blue for the rest of my life because a French girl that I assume lives in France dresses like that because of the one caricature of all French people. That's just not real. There is a range of people in all places, and what speaks to you, and that's what fashion style and having your own personal style is really all about at the end of it. We've reached a cultural shift, and quite honestly, the whites got boring. I'm talking about clothing here, guys. But it really got boring just seeing those base colors over and over in a million ways. We've seen it. It's great. We've seen it unbuttoned. We've seen the tucked in. We've seen the nipped in. Can we see something else? And I think the people who really actually thrive the most were people who were able to take some of those and incorporate their style into it, or those pieces and colors. And the shift that we're now seeing, like I talked about in my fall winter trends video, is exactly what I've been wishing for, which is those elevated basics with pops of color. So to see that happening now, to see an actual balance, a shift in our style culture has been like the most exciting thing to me, to be honest. There's a trend going more towards authenticity over aspirational, right? Even all the aspirational vloggers and stuff tend to try to show you some kind of authenticity behind it. This is really who I am, and this is how I truly am. In fact, most people who have successful vlogs are people that built an audience that really trust them authentically prior to that, typically. Or they're just so good, their vlogs are just so good that you see their raw authenticity, because that's the push we're going towards, especially like all AI being everywhere. People want to see something real. We want to connect with someone real for a second, right? And it's a style that doesn't demand exclusivity, but promotes individuality, in my opinion. So we're saying goodbye to blending in, and we're actually stepping out into our own personal style, into our own glory. And I'm living for it. It's interesting because as we're now rejecting or pushing away from quiet luxury, we are kind of pushing away from that level of inaccessibility when it comes to style. Because I've now started to notice that as we're going towards this quiet luxury more, as we're pushing towards it, the trends when it comes to body image are starting to lean back towards those early 2010 phases. And I thought we were getting more diverse. So it would be nice to see more color, diversity, inclusivity, authenticity in all aspects and range in all ways, because one push leads like a domino effect to others. Gossip Girl, White Lotus, Palm Royale. I love all these shows, by the way. Okay, Bridgerton even. I love all these shows. I love it for that aspirational, wealthy lifestyle, but they always show an aspect of emptiness to it. Defining wealth is just having freedom to be able to do what you want. We know this more than anything. That's really all we really want. When we go down to the core of it, it's being financially free to do what you want, to be able to go where you want to go, when you want to go there, to travel to different places, experience different cuisine, experience different cultures, have fun, not have to worry about money. That's really what wealth is. So to put that, or to put yourself into this constant cycle of debt because you want to keep up with quiet luxury and all the brands that come through and they're really popping right now, take a breath. It's okay. Quiet luxury was never really dressing for yourself. It was dressing for an image, a curated image that centered certain sect of people. It was a very thin line. And to see us moving towards something, a cultural shift towards something that expresses and celebrates individual style, personal style more, is unmatched, in my opinion. So here's the takeaway. Quiet luxury is dead. And thank God, because it was a little bit boring. It was. We've seen it already, you know? Real style and real wealth, they're personal, functional, and tailored to you. That's what it is to have wealth. It's your own definition of what it is. Check out my video on how to improve your fashion sense. Let's leave behind these whispers of quiet luxury and go forward with what I actually think is worth investing into your closet year round, even though you may see certain pieces while you're shopping right now. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.